Hell no. Look where you found yourself. This is Hammer Away, and I'm Viking Stew. Let's get hammered.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? This is Jaron Galino with Lynch Mob, and I'm hanging with Viking Stew on the Hammer Away show.
Well, good afternoon. It is a Saturday. It's a rock and roll weekend chat with bass warrior Marco Mendoza. That's right. Had a chance to talk to him the other night. We'll get him on soon. We're ready to rock.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Well, hey, everybody. How's it going? That's right. It's Saturday afternoon. This is part of the beauty of shows. You do them when you can. And here we are. We're available. And Marco is going to be showing up here soon. We set this up for 1 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of time. Usually what I do is it's a beautiful intro time to be able to just tell you about a few things before he gets here. And first thing I want to tell you about is his brand new album. That came out. No, it's not brand new. I mean, it's his newest one. It's his latest release. Sorry about that. 2022 is when this came out. It's the latest release. It's New Direction. It's a great record. Be sure and check it out. And prior to that, his other 3 releases that he's had. 2007, Live for Tomorrow. There was Casa Mendoza. That was 2010. And in 2018 is... I really dig this album a lot too. Viva La Rock. Opened up with that track the other night when he was playing live over in Illinois in Edwardsville at the Wildey Theater. A great venue if you haven't been there before. They still do movies there. I think they were saying it was started in like 1906. And then here it is almost 100 years later, right? Is that right? Not 100 years later. 100 plus years later. God, it's Saturday. No math. Let's not do math. Let's leave it alone. You do your own math. That's the way I like it. And you figure that out. 120 years old, I guess, right? Almost, right. So check out those albums. And here's a little promo piece that you'll see that's with the Graham Bonnet Band, this tour that I saw over there. This was for last night over in... West Dundee in Illinois, so at the Rock House. So I hope that went well. So you can see here on the promo, you've got great music from Rainbow, Alcatraz, Michael Schenker Group, Whitesnake, Thin Lizzy, Ted Nugent, Dead Daisies. And it was, there wasn't any Dead Daisy stuff, but they did some Thin Lizzy and Ted Nugent last night. Just kind of that's just a list of things that he's done, and kind of gives him an overview of stuff that might be done. You never know. He was working with I'm going to put this back up so you can see if you look on the Graham Bonnet Band side, all the way to the right, you'll see Francis, the drummer, and Conrado, the guitar player. So they did an exceptional job playing with both Marco and Graham Bonnet Band. It's just amazing stuff. I mean, think about that. Here's the different dates that Marco is working with them through Tuesday. Is that right? Well, Tuesday. Yeah, right. So they have another show tomorrow up in Michigan, and they head over to Pennsylvania to do this. Is that right? Yeah, Pennsylvania to do this show. But he's got to be heading over to Europe. We're going to be talking about that. And I'm keeping in touch with him, see what we've got and what's happening. So let us keep moving here. Otherwise, let's take a look at some of these live shots. We'll take a look at this. Took some shots. I was very fortunate to be able to get up close and be up by the stage. So you see Conrado there and Marco, and I got quite a few of those kind of shots because they were just great. I was taking a look at some of my other shots, and Some are pretty good. Like this one's pretty good. This last one was a little with the lights, it got a little blurry. That's just the way it goes. But just a brilliant set. There was a lot of great songs that they were playing, but also had the time to do some jamming. I mean, man, they did some blues jamming and crowd participation. It was great. A lot of fun with the crowd there. And Marco is ready to join us. So let me pop through a few more of these real quick. And so there you go. Some great shots. There's the album cover to New Direction in the background there. And there you go. And there we are.
How are
right
you,
there
Stuart?
at the venue. So here we go. How's it going, Marco?
I'm good, man. I'm, the Wi-Fi sometimes is a little questionable everywhere.
I'm with you. That's usually why I
We go through a lot of changes, but I do a lot of these, so I'm not surprised. But at least we're in. We're in. And I was running a little late. My apologies, but
you're fine.
It's the road, man.
It is. And I never worry about it. I'm like, I'll just get started. I got plenty to talk about. And
are you started already?
No. Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I forgot to put my eyeliner on.
Oh, damn it. Me too. Shit.
No. How are you, man?
Should we have an eyeliner break?
Man. I got it.
Should we have an eyeliner break real quick? We'll just.
Yeah, no. I joke about it, but no, it's pretty crazy, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
With me, it's insane. Really, extremely busy, and
how are you weathering that? How's that going?
That seems to be the only obstacle, to be honest. And I call it an obstacle because it is what it is. It's just it gets a little uncomfortable sometimes physically. You're running and taking on too much work. I think for me personally, and I can talk for a lot of my colleagues and friends. After the pandemic, man, that was a bit of a wake up, kind of like realizing that this whole thing could end, And so now that it's like a flood, it's like at the end of 22, we're 21. It started getting busy. I started going out there against all advice, I started going out there and against all the odds, but it worked for me for my solo thing in that I was one of few artists out there, solo artists that came from other bands that were promoting their own music. And so I had the advantage of being really appreciated. People were showing up because not a lot of people were touring. So we would have 50% capacity with mass sitting kind of thing. But it was a good way for me to introduce my music, I had done a lot of work in 19 and that kind of set up for 20, but 20 came and fell apart. The whole thing just down to zero. And because I'm considered a new artist as a solo artist. You know what really amazes me, Stuart? And this happened to me last night again.
Okay.
At least 4 or 5 people came over and said, Marco, we love your music. Where can we get it?
Right.
That's one. And then the other thing is like, holy, wow, you can sing. We had no idea. And so it's satisfying in that people are paying attention now. Now it's what we do from here on is what's important because you can come and do these states and then disappear for a year or 2 or 3, and then it's gone. All the steam and all the momentum is gone. So I'm trying to figure out what the next step is going to be. The U.S., you saw, we had a great time, man.
Yeah,
it was
we
a
did.
great, and people were really appreciating what I have to offer. So. I'm trying to get some dates together for before the year is over. I don't know if it'll be too soon, but I'm trying to do that and, invite some of my bigger name players to come along with me to kind of help support the thing. But other than that, man, I do the best I can. I get tired physically and I get beat up, but something happens. I got to tell you, Stuart, something happens no matter how tired I am. physically drained, emotionally, spiritually. Well, spiritually, I try to consider myself plugged in.
Yeah, right.
But and that keeps me going. But physically and emotionally and psychologically, you're drained. And then you get on stage, the light goes on, we hit the first chord, and boom, you're flying, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's another realm. My adrenaline starts jumping. I have the benefits of, thank God, of not doing any mind altering chemicals, including alcohol. So
And you're
I'm
in great
present.
shape.
Thank you, bro. So I'm
Yeah,
present. Thank you. So I'm
yeah,
really present.
yeah.
And when you feel that energy, man, uh, you just tap into it. And it's adrenaline, it's endorphins, it's serotonin, it's
Oh, we'll be okay. There we go. Hang on. It's the Wi-Fi thing. It's all good. I while we're waiting, hopefully it'll be get back in here. While we're waiting, they had a great energy on stage the other night. Both Marco with the guys and Graham Bonnet. It was an fantastic it was a fantastic honest performance. Just that's the beauty of that and why it worked the other night and why it was so cool at the Wildey Theater, because these are a couple of guys who get out there and they were killing it, and you're thinking, and I'd never seen Marco perform before, and not only that, I'd never heard him sing, as he was mentioning. Oh yeah, some people say, yeah, I didn't know you sang. So oddly enough, there you go,
yeah.
you're back. So I was just telling him how great the performance was the other night because of your awesome. There was an honesty on stage between you and Graham as performers. It's a great
Yeah.
it's a great thing to see that, and it really works with the crowd, and they engage. It's
I,
fantastic.
I'll tell you, man, I'm so lucky to be hanging out with Graham and
Mm,
Bethany
yeah.
and the guys. Um, because yeah, Graham obviously is one of the quintessential singers of our time. He got
Amen.
on the radar in a big way, along with a lot of other cats, and he's done the seminal music, rock and roll, classic rock and roll that we all know and grew up in
Yeah.
on. And so for me, it's a blast to be out there with him.
Yeah.
And they're just a great bunch of cats.
Yeah.
Um,
No
and
doubt.
and
No
and
doubt.
then and the talent. I mean, Graham, look, I mean, he's killing it, man. The band
He
sounds
is.
amazing. Yeah, and it's a celebration of what happened then and what's happening now,
Yeah.
And if I can consider myself one of the newer cats on the radar, which I am as a solo artist, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's a pleasure to be out here, and it's an honor to be hanging out with Graham,
Yeah.
be part of the package, and sharing his flares, which is something that we came up with for a lot of reasons. I mean, initially, Conrado was playing with me,
Mhm.
and he had another drummer, Kyle Hughes from England, who I brought from
Okay.
England to the
Okay.
U.S. I didn't bring him, but I mean, I exposed him. I brought him to L.A.
Gotcha.
for the first time, and he's a talented cat, and he's doing really well. But so the idea is, when I heard Conrado was working with Graham and producing the albums, I'm like,
Mhm.
after the pandemic, we were all trying to find formulas, to make it work.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind telling you, the financial situation is a big part of touring,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's become increasingly harder to do that more and more and more.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody like me, who I love what I do still,
Mhm.
and like Graham, he loves what he does with a passion, you can tell. You find ways,
Right.
to create more interest, to create something that's feasible, that we can take on the road and cut corners here, financially
Mhm.
here, and still, deliver the best show you can. And
Right.
as you can tell, I mean, there's no production costs.
Mhm.
It's very little. We're out there celebrating with the music, which
Mhm.
is, I believe in that so much. At the end of the day, it's it's you there in front of an audience, and what do you got? you know,
Yeah.
and the other thing that I learned a long time ago, and I was inspired by some of the greats to you know, the entertainment value, the connecting with the audience is so important, man. I have some colleagues and friends who I won't mention, but uh, uh, they don't understand that. You know, they don't break that ice, that wall, that transparency thing. That doesn't happen, and I believe it's very important, man. And then if you have, you know, and then you can deliver performance wise and have a message that I always try to have a message of positive energy and be optimistic about life in general and all that. Uh, uh, According to what's going on today, I mean, we need we need that balance, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, how you feel about this story, but there's a lot of negative shit out there in poop, I should say.
No, you can say shit. There's a
I
lot of
know.
fucking shit out there. There's a lot. Let's just get it clear. There's a lot of fucking shit and a lot of people acting a twat.
Negative
And it's
stuff,
not,
man, that
it's,
just drags you
you know,
down.
and part of it, I don't want to sit there and go, I don't want to sit here and go, and it's all their fault.
No,
Whoever's acting a twat, it's all their fault. It's not.
no,
It's
it's
not.
the
However,
we're the product of our environment,
yeah,
man. And go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
And no, it's okay. But however, we do need to own it and move forward from there instead of laying it so hardly on everybody else. Let's
Yeah.
just ask for some. What I would love to see is ask people asking for sincere help, not
Yes.
putting a post out and going, I feel like shit. Who's going to fix me? And everybody puts a
Oh,
love and they put a hug and they put a what? You know what? Call your friend down the street who's reading this right now going, why the fuck didn't you call me?
you're opening a can of worms for me when it comes to social media, bro. Whoo!
Wow.
But I don't want to go there because it's
I understand. I understand.
unfortunately and fortunately, it's a tool that we all need as entertainers, as musicians. We
It
got to
is.
stay
Right.
we got to stay relevant out there
Right.
and touch. And I'm told a lot of times I don't do enough, and the reason for that is just I don't feel it's sincere. You know, that's the bottom line. I have to say,
I
you
get it.
know, am I doing it just to to get likes? Am I doing it get likes from people I really don't know? I mean, they're fans. I love them and I appreciate all you guys, but there's it's there's a connection that's not there, and that's I have a hard time with that. Nevertheless, I appreciate. I don't want anybody out there to misunderstand my message, but I guess you could call me old school. But you're right. I believe in calling people, even when I do business. I have a hard time doing it on social media and emails. I'm like, I want to talk to you. If I could do a Zoom meeting or whatever, this is StreamYard, and have you face to face and look into your face and your eyes and feel your spirit and feel who you are, making a deal. That's all I need. I don't need to sign a contract. I don't need to, you know, but so it's getting to be like that. So yeah, I'm a little reluctant to tap into that thing. And I do it, especially when I go on tour. Obviously, I want people to know I'm around and please
Mhm.
show up and all that. And right now it's necessary. You know, um, the labels can only do so much and they only do so much, and it's up to us to preach the gospel, get out there and do what you do, and hopefully people are interested and they like what you do and they support you, and they that's why I talk about it a lot on stage. Say, bro,
Right.
uh, go on, you know, go in there and do that and support. I run out of merch, to be honest. I never carry enough merch. I haven't figured that one out yet. But
Well,
just you know what it is to it? Can I be
yeah,
honest?
please.
Sorry
Yeah.
for interrupting you again.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I really feel, and maybe this is going to work against you, but I really feel, and I'm just from the heart, from the gut.
Mhm.
I really feel when people take the time to buy a ticket to come
Mhm.
hear your music live, to me, that's enough.
I get it.
There's a business side to it where, you know, if you sell enough merch every gig, it's going to help you with the budget, travel costs, fees, all that, which is increasing by the month and by the year. Uh, but I haven't tapped into that, and so I never carry enough merch. I believe in the word of mouth, if you guys like you came in and everybody that I met there was so cool, man. Everybody was so
It's a good group of
slamming.
folks.
Yeah.
They're committed to that theater. So it's like when
Yeah.
you meet those people, they're ready for the next
Supporting the
awesome.
Wildey Theater, which
Yeah.
is great. I love those venues. We played at the Rock House last night
Right.
here in West Dundee, Illinois. And also, man, same thing. I played here before, but it's been like 7 years, 7 or 8 years before as a solo artist. So yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I'm really happy so far of the results of doing these dates. I have 2 or 3 more dates with Graham, and then I'm off to Europe and all that, the rest.
Yeah, I had that. There you go. You got the Michigan date and a Pennsylvania date.
Oh, very cool. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then you're off to Europe.
Off to Europe. Off to Switzerland and Czech Republic, Germany, France, Romania, Hungary, Austria.
And one of my favorites, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Yeah.
I wish
Oh,
I could be there.
actually, I'm not doing.
Oh, you're not doing that one?
Oh, no. I'm talking about my solo thing because at the end, we start. I meet up with Satriani and Vai in England, in London.
Okay.
And we will hit Amsterdam with that tour. That's another tour, and I'm really excited about that, man.
Yeah. I really want to hit the meat with that one because I know you're really excited about that. And when you mentioned it to me the other day and said I'd love to talk to you about that coming up too.
Yes.
And I really want to hit that, but I have 2 quick questions for you.
Please.
Especially when it comes to your music. So you mentioned that you were at Dundee like 7 years ago. So that would have been for the Viva La Rock time period, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that back up. Here's the album.
Yeah.
And it is a brilliant freaking record.
Thank you
for kicking off the show the other night with the title track because it kicks ass.
Thanks.
And so that would have been for that. Where were you? It was like 2007, and then 2010 for Casa Mendoza, and then you did Viva La Rock in 2018. What was the difference in where you were when you did Viva La Rock?
I got really busy. I'm one of those guys that's really lucky. I get some great calls with some great artists and bands and projects and albums and all that. And needless to say, I'm very humbled and I'm very happy to collaborate, participate in any capacity. But in 2013, I believe, I don't keep dates too well, but I think I started my commitment with the Dead Daisies. And then I really focused my energy on that project. We put 5-6 years, I think, something like that. Well, 13 to 18, 5, 19, 6. And we put a lot of albums. So I was really focused on that. That was going to be my priority. For the longest time, and then I would get calls to do this and that, and if I had time, I would do that. I did a little run with Journey, Black Star Riders. Who else? I did quite a few things, man. It's really hard for me to keep track, man. I should have a log, and all that. But let's just say I got really busy. The album came out in 18. Oh, Viva La Rock came out in 18 February. I remember this. And I got the green light from the band, from management at the Dead Daisies. Yes, it's cool. But what happened? My release came out, and I hadn't done anything in quite a few years. So it was very important. The time frame was very important to support it. So it came out in February of 18. The Dead Daisies album came out in April, 2 months later.
Wow.
And so Viva came in, got a little bit of notice and great reviews and all that. And then it went, boop. The focus now was the Dead Daisies, which I was okay with, but you know, in retrospect, you go, I should have thought about that a little better. We should have released it when I had time to support it live,
Right.
because it's come down to that more and more these days. So it happened, and I was happy. The album, I got to give a lot of credit to my producer, my friend, guitar player, one of my favorite cats in the business, Soren Anderson,
Nice.
who I have a great relationship with. He's one of those guys that's got it all, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And we get along really well when it comes to writing and producing.
Yeah.
We get together with just like a couple of kids with all these ideas bounds, and we forget about all the business, all the you know, logistical stuff and the money and that we just, it's like we remember where we came from, the garage, you know, with a little guitar. And that's what we tap into. And we have so much fun, man. And it's really productive. It's like we forget all these labels and what we're doing. It's just write some songs, man. Okay.
The industry of music.
Which kind of, yeah, it has its bad sides, and it can really swallow you up if you let it, you know.
Well, yeah, the music industry, but that's what I was talking about the other night, where it's like it's about musicians and writers and players and creatives to be the industry of music anymore. It's screw the music industry. It's not gonna net you in the end. It's not gonna net you what you
expect. It'll never live up to your expectations anymore. Right. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So you have to make adjustments and still move forward. But with Soren is that we have this connection, man, that I can't put words. I can't describe it because I tell him we come from the same tree, bro. You're from Denmark. I'm from Mexico and the U.S. and California, but. We came from the same place in that we love music, we celebrate it, we're excited still, we're still hungry and thirsty to look beyond look at the other side of the fence, you know, and see what's going on. Let's find out. And creatively, that's a great thing to have. So we work fast, man. And he knows me. I took him out. He was my first guitar player as a solo artist.
Wow.
So we toured a lot. He got to experience my shortcomings, my you know, where my wheel is, you know, creatively and singing wise and all that. So he knows, man. He knows how to tap into it, and I trust him. There's a lot of trust, which is very important. And so we work fast, man. I mean, Viva La Rock came in. I mean, we got together. We put 4 or 5 days aside, I think. We met in Copenhagen at his studio, Medley Studios in Copenhagen. And I think Viva La Rock happened in the first hour, without exaggerating. It's like I had this thing in my head. There'd been this talk about rock is dead, you know, it's over, the whole thing. And I would tell everybody, well, Look, we're doing 100+ shows this year. Viva la rock, long live rock and roll, and that's it. That was a saying I had within myself and my friends, and it was in my brain. And we got in. We started looking at some riffs. He's got tons of riffs. I have my riffs, and then we go with the best one. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It just came, boom, and then we go with that. And the song was written within the first hour, to be honest, you know. But and so then we sent it to the label, and they were like, "We love it. This is gonna be the title." Da da da. So that's what happened. So it was meant to happen. That's what I'm getting to. So
yeah, there's nothing like being in the kitchen with somebody and that knows how you cook, you know, and you just work it together, and you just you know,
he's got the right spices and the right tools, and exactly. That's a good way of putting it, man.
Yeah.
And I love cooking, by the way, too.
I love it too, man. And it's, you know, my kids are always like, "Okay, Dad, what's your recipe for this?" I'm like, you know, it's this, and this. However, it's sometimes like this or that, and you know, whatever you think, you know.
That's me. We're so alike like that. Was just talking to somebody, a friend earlier about that. It's, you know, that's the technical way of doing things. And then there's if you want to call it spiritual way, because I call it spiritual way of doing things, where it's just instinct and you trust your gut and your heart and you just go with it, you follow it. And for the most part, it's organic. That's the word. For the most part, that's how I do things, man. It's all instinct, most of it. But so that's what happened. I kind of got my time was spent supporting the Dead Daisies, great project. We had a great time. And then John Karabi decided to take some time off at the beginning of 19. So it led me to, I got green lit again to go support Viva La Rock in 19. And to my surprise, and I'm being honest, to my surprise, 10 gigs turned into 20, 20 turned into 40. And it was like over 100 shows in 19. I know.
That's a blessing.
And we were on hiatus looking for a new singer. And this is true story. Because John wanted to take a break and management wanted to keep going. So, but nobody was signing in, committing 100%. I could drop names of people that they were talking to, we were all talking to, and so pretty amazing. But we couldn't get a commitment, so they kept saying, go ahead, get busy, stay busy. We'll let you know when we need you. And then somewhere in July or August, I got the call saying that they were having a hard time finding a singer. We were all having a hard time finding a singer to commit, and that they were going to look at talk to Glenn. Glenn Hughes got on the map, and I'm a big fan of Glenn. Always will be, always have been.
Well, and I hear his influence in.
Oh my gosh, no,
your stuff.
He's he's the singer's singer, if you know what I mean.
I do. He does everything.
And the bass player, and there's a lot of stuff that if you look back at his catalog, that's just mind blowing. His talent,
his groove matches with
his groove
is like yours. You know what I'm saying? It's similar. That's what I dig about his music and yours.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered.
Oh God, it's groove driven, and I love groove driven.
Yeah, he's real, he's a real talent and very spiritual, and we connected in a very deep way in that we're 12-step babies, So and I consider him a friend, and so he's been somebody I always look up to, and when I heard that, I'm going, definitely. And the approach was, we're going to talk to him about just fronting and just singing. And the first thing out of my mouth was, he's a singing bass player, man. But don't let that stop you. I'm being honest with you in front of anybody. I said, because this project had been through so many, we had done so much work and needed to continue, as a whole. So that's what it was. They got together and it worked out in the studio. And then we announced in August that Glenn was coming in and I was moving on, and me and John, and that was it. So then I'm getting to this. By then I had done, I don't know, 80, 90 shows in 19, and the shows kept coming in. I kept getting invited. I got invited to some big festivals, and I was surprised to it. I was like, holy poop, man. There's some cool stuff going on here, and I'm having a blast doing it. Wow. I'm being honest. I'm like, I like sharing my lyrics. I like sharing melodies. I love sharing my music. I love fronting my thing. It's a lot of responsibility, but I was up for it and I was excited. And so when I moved on from the Daisies, I said, I should pay attention to this. So let's just say in 20, I had twice as many shows I got invited, some huge festivals, you can name them, a lot of them. And so I was coming in at entry level, the smaller stages, but on the big festivals, I'm like, this is going to be great. Well, then the pandemic happened and boom. So because I'm considered a new artist on the scene as a solo artist, I at the bottom of the totem pole. So slowly but surely, the end of 21, I started getting back out there, and I'm still waiting to make good on these festivals actually that we were originally scheduled to do. But no complaints, man. It's all good. I seem to get busy in the areas where I'm supposed to be busy, and the U.S. is definitely a market that I would love to I don't want to say tap into, but connect with.
There you go.
I'm from the U.S., man, and
Yeah.
and I've been touring the U.S. I could honestly say I've done 90% of all the major cities in the U.S., touring with Ted Nugent, with Thin Lizzy, with Whitesnake, with Soul Circus, with Dolores O'Riordan, I mean, I could go down the list forever.
Right.
With George Lynch, Lynch Mob.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's my turn to kind of do that and represent my canvas, if you will, my
Right.
paintings.
Right.
So it's good, man. And
Yeah.
when I meet people like you,
Yeah.
it just it gives me a vote of confidence, saying there's something here. We need to really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I will also say now, thank you very much for taking the time out today to do this, because I mean,
very important, man. You guys, you guys
it's-
are the connection.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
a big
I think
connection,
there's
very important. So thank you for
yeah.
asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we had that common, quick moment where we're both
Connect.
like, yeah, let's get this together and talk about it.
Hmm. I
Because
had seen some of the things of
mhm.
some of your show you did with Graham and
Yeah,
Beth a little bit. Yeah, I
yeah,
glanced through it, so it was
yeah.
cool, man.
I love talking to those guys. They are,
Oh, they're great. I'm on
I
the
told
road with them.
Bethany,
I love them, man. Love them. Good
yeah, I
people.
told Bethany the other night, I said, that's the thing about, and that's what I was talking about, the honesty of your performance as well, Graham comes out there. He's
No,
not trying to be something. He's being himself. He
I
comes out
love
there
that.
and
I love that.
he's funny. He's charming. He's kicking
He,
ass.
he's Graham.
Yeah, he's Graham, you
I
know?
love that. That's to me. That inspires me to be who I am. It gives
Yeah.
me. It makes it okay.
Yeah.
Those days of pretending to be something that you're not and trying to live
Right.
up to it.
Yes.
I have a lot of friends that got caught up in that thing, and you know what?
Mhm.
They go through a lot of the painstaking process of
Mhm.
trying to figure that out and navigate it, and you cannot. You
Yeah.
can't never live up to expectations, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's okay to be okay in your own skin and be who you are. Represent that and take it out there,
Yeah.
with all the good and the bad. This is who you are. This is again, I use the canvas and the painting as a
Mhm.
figure of
Yeah.
speech. These are my paintings. These are my little songs with a
Right.
little message. I hope
That's
you
it.
dig them. I hope you had a good time. I
Yeah.
hope you walk out of here with a smile on your face. And that, if you do that, then my job's done.
Yeah. You know,
It's like,
it's thank you for saying that again too, because oddly enough, I was just thinking about that earlier when I was thinking about the albums and I was thinking about art, because I was thinking about the artwork that's on your latest release, which was 2022, right? Was New Direction
2023. Was
3?
it
Okay.
23? Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, new
So,
direction.
yeah.
Credit to my graphic guy, Mark
Yeah.
Allison. He's been my guy. I met him actually in the Dead Daisies camp,
Oh, wow. Cool.
and come to find out, he had been a fan and knew about my journey in the music business a little bit, and we hit it off. He's a sweetheart, great guy. He's a
Man.
songwriter. He's an artist.
Yeah.
And we hit it off so well. I'm staying with him for all my graphic stuff,
That's great.
and he's been my tour manager as well. He's a musician. He's really cool. Him and I hit it off really well. Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of credit to him. I love
Yeah.
his graphics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now I noticed that there's also a release that where it's kind of reversed, or it's got a black cover. What is that? Was that something?
That's something we decided with I think it came from vinyl. We wanted to do different colors with the vinyl, with the label.
Gotcha.
and we wanted to mark the black ones to be the colorful vinyl.
Gotcha.
And then we did a book, and I should bring it out again. It was a very interesting book in that it marks a lot of my journey, where I came from, Tijuana, Mexico, which is south of San Diego, and how a kid like me came up to, up the ranks, and getting recruited by all these projects. And so it marks, yeah, and it's short little stories. So it's not, it's not it's a picture, a Pictionary. What do you want to call it? A photo book.
Yeah, like a slideshow.
Like a slideshow, like a tabletop kind of thing, And it was called Showtime. And Mark and I decided, we actually came up with that book during the pandemic when there was nothing else going on, and we wanted to stay in touch. And we announced that we were doing that. And again, to my surprise, people were like really interested.
Right.
So we printed a ton of them, and they sold out. And I just had a few left last year, and boom. And it was a decent amount of books, and I'm going, wow. So I'm thinking about printing it again. I think people are interested,
I would.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, man. I have to get all my business, all my ducks in order, and have a website with all this stuff available, which I don't have.
Right.
In my heart, in my mind, I'm thinking music should be enough, and people showing up to the shows. But there is interest there, and I think I'm gonna jump on that as soon as I can and try to get organized. Have some merch, have some shirts and caps and stuff. People want to wear your stuff and promote it. It's marketing, promotion. Brings me back to Viva La Rock. So Viva La Rock got released. 19, I toured a lot on that album. And we were doing material from Live for Tomorrow, which is the first album. Just for your audience there.
Right.
Live for Tomorrow was the first album that I got approached to do by Frontiers. And Richie Cotton produced, played on it, and another cat that's just unbelievably talented. That guy he could do it all, man. Sing, write, plays, multi-instrumentalist, producer, engineer. He's just one of those cats, man. And we did that album in 15 days. I'll never forget that. 15 days, top to bottom.
Wow.
We both ran out of time. But so we did that, and I had some of my friends that I hit on, Steve Lukather playing on there, and
that's amazing.
Ted Nugent and Doug Aldrich from Whitesnake, from my Whitesnake days, and a friend. Tommy Aldridge also on drums, and Brian Tishy, and my son Marco on bass. He's a great bass player now too. He's busy. Wow. So that was cool. That got me on the map, and so I'm talking about that because I'm trying to go back to that material, bring songs from that album on these next dates that I'm doing this year and next year, because it is a good album and there's some good songs and people don't know about it. There's so much, Live for Tomorrow is the first one. Casa Mendoza is the second one. A Mascot. There you go. Very good. Thank you. Viva La Rock and New Direction. There's 4 albums.
And they're all great. I love them all.
Thank you, man. And there is some good stuff, and I'm really proud of all of them. Again, I think the last 2 albums were a little more focused, and the writing got a little better, and the singing, the whole thing, the songwriting was, and the production, Soren just killed it.
Yeah, that's the way I felt about Viva La Rock. I'm like, it's like any other band. You see what it's doing. It's organic. It's coming together, and then boop, there's that one where the lens just comes right in and goes. Bam.
It focused exactly, and that's what happened with Soren. That's why really, we're looking forward to getting together this year to continue the writing. But brings me back to this again. New Direction got released after the pandemic. There was nothing going on. I went out and at the end of 21 against all odds, and I did well. I got on the radar even bigger, and then 22 started getting busier. But the label did not want to release the album because of what was going on. And we went back and forth, and I'm going, I'm out here, man. I'm booking a lot of dates.
Yeah.
And this album was ready to go. Remember, this album was, I didn't tell you. This album was in the can. We finished, we actually started at the end of 19 to be released in 20.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it was like 90% done, ready to roll. And then the pandemic happened. We ended up finishing in 2021, the end of 21. And then I got busy. I got the call to work with Journey, and that, I got busy with that. And so everything was put on the back burner. And the label, let's just say they weren't keen on releasing. They wanted to wait another year. And in retrospect, I got to give them credit. That probably would have been the best move, because what happened
did they have a specific something where they're like, because of this?
Well, the pandemic and the industry and people canceling shows, and there was a lot of it was a roller coaster. Nothing was predictable. Not that it ever is, but it was even worse. So they were like, "Why don't we wait until everything gets settled?" And I went along with it. But 23, I said, "Guys, I've got over 100 shows booked here, and I'm doing this and doing that." I convinced them, and I believe it was September of 23 where New Direction came out. We had to even change the title of the album because it was going to be Take It to the Limit. That was the first single.
Right.
And it had been released, and it got a little play, a lot actually. And so we ran out of gas. We wanted to come up with something new. And I was looking at the songs, and I'm going, this is New Direction. It's a good song. It's a good message. It's relatable to everybody, what's going on with the pandemic and all politics and just, the state of the planet. And so we decided to go New Direction, and that was it. But it got released, and let's just say things are changing on the marketing and promotion side of things. And so it comes down to me just playing live and selling it at the shows, and that's what it is. I think online you can go to Marco Mendoza Official. There's some, if you want to take a listen and download and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's Target Music, the last two albums. But so that's what happened, Stuart. I'm like here doing the best I can with what I have, bottom line. And it comes down to the shows. We had a great set last night at the Rock House here.
I was going to ask you about that, how that went.
It was really great, man. The people were there to check it out, but I was surprised that, they weren't aware of the new releases. It's a trip, man. Right. So I'm trying to find a way to do it, and everybody's going through a lot of changes, financially, including the labels and all that, I'm sure. But so yeah, I think I'm just gonna have a bunch of stuff sent to the US, and whenever I go out, just have it with me. Vinyl seems to be what people are interested in. Vinyl. Did you have?
I love vinyl.
Somebody brought a couple of vinyls to the gig.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess they got them online or something, and that was cool. So
yeah, could have been. I mean, that's. I was trying to think of what else I would have had that I would have brought. I know I didn't have any vinyl for you there, but
and CDs and stuff. But so that's what I'm trying to find a way, and I don't know if it's going to be possible. I'm trying to find a way to do a compilation of all 4 albums, but there's 3 different labels. So it's going to take a little bit of chorusing and business and talk and all. I'm trying to see if that's even possible, but if not, I'll get a live recording,
Exactly.
capture the thing, because that seems to be where, like, people like you, they react in a great way when
Mhm.
they see the live
Yeah,
performance,
absolutely.
all that comes with that. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
energy, and I'm very lucky that I surround myself with the best players around. In this
Now,
case,
yeah,
uh, Graham's players,
yeah,
Conrado Pecinato, very
yeah,
good, and Francis Casola on drums. They're doing
yeah,
a brilliant job, man. They
yeah.
bring it. We have fun.
And they're super great guys. I mean,
It's
man,
super great. And then
it's great talking to them.
they stay on stage and play, and that band, the Graham's band, just sounds amazing, man. It's huge. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. And it's not like you're going, okay, well, now I can slow down. You're like, okay, it's a warm up. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's, you know,
So so I'm having a blast, man. I'm
yeah.
having a lot of fun. We had a gig scheduled today that we lost. I
Oh,
think there
okay.
was some renovations at the venue that
Oh,
they were running behind, and we had to move.
okay.
But the plan is for your audience, for your listeners, the plan
Yeah.
is for me to come back before the year is over. And I'm already talking to the venues, to my agent, and there seems to be a lot of interest. So
Good.
I would like to really do more of a longer run, 20, 25 dates if
Yeah.
possible. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. We had 25 or 30 dates back in 20 in the US to promote Viva La Rock.
Yeah.
So that fell off.
Yeah. That's
So,
rough. I mean, I tell you what, I never get tired of hearing the different from each of the artists that I have a chance to sit down with here on
mhm,
Hammer Away. I never get tired of hearing where they were coming from during that time frame.
yeah,
I don't like focusing. I'm not a big guy who's like, yeah, that big pandemic thing. No, that wasn't it to me. I'm a healthy person. I feel good about my health. I wasn't worried about it at all.
yeah,
If I got sick, okay. I know everybody's got a different view of the thing
yes,
because everybody's themselves and they
yes,
have the right to feel about how they're going to feel about it.
absolutely.
I don't have a problem with that. But me personally, my view was I'll get sick, I'll get over it, we'll be moving on. If I
Did you
don't,
get sick? Did you?
yeah,
You did. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Well, there you go. Now you're
yeah.
immune.
But I didn't want the shot. I didn't
Yeah,
want it. Um, but
that's a long conversation, bro.
it is a long conversation. I
But
didn't
it's
want
good.
it,
Yeah.
but I got it. It
Uh-huh.
messed me up a little bit, but I got it. But I didn't do anything else. That was it. They talk boosters, they talk all this stuff, and I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Guess what? And I have to admit to it. And I know there's two sides to the
Right,
story, but
right,
me, it was
mhm,
absolutely and only because I wanted to travel and play my
right,
music.
right.
There was no way around it.
Nope.
And I did. And when they said you need to get the second one, I said, well, if you don't get the second one, you won't be able to travel. And I travel a lot for work. It's
Right,
my passion.
right,
It's like, all right. And I did all three.
right.
And I seem to be okay. Okay, second. I'm glad I got that laugh. How many people are listening, bro? I'm a bit of a comedian too.
Oh man, that's great.
You know what, bro? I thrive on people laughing. I really, really do.
You and me
Laughter for
both.
me is a ray of sunshine, and I
Yeah.
laugh at myself. I'll be the first one to laugh at myself, but I'm clumsy. I'm a funny guy. I always try to see the sense of humor in
Hmm.
life in general. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have to say I did notice a few things. The cloudy thing,
Mm.
but slowing down. But you know, I am going to be 95 next. I am today, actually. So has to be expected.
You are what month are you born?
This is my birthday, actually, today.
Oh, happy birthday!
I know it's okay. Thank you. Yeah. But
you're here on your birthday with me. I'm honored, dude. Beyond now. I was already honored to do it. Now I'm beyond honored.
Man, my pleasure, man. You're
I should
cool
have a
guy.
cupcake here or something. You could blow
It's all right, man. It's all right. Listen, I'm trying to look the other way. They're racking up. They're coming too soon. No, man. I'm really, and I talk about it, and I have to tap into it today. I really tried to have the attitude of gratitude, which is something that came from a 12-step program, because it's been, bro. When I was 13 or 12, however young I was when I started playing the guitar, my brother's acoustic guitar, and I started learning chords and learning that I could play a few songs with 3 or 4 or 5 chords. The songs they were playing on the radio, CCR was on the radio big time. I had no idea. You know, you're a kid, man. You're just doing it for pleasure. You're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. You're opening Pandora's box. You're learning, and it became my friend, my guitar. It became my solace. It became my sanctuary. It became everything, where I could grab my guitar and go into, like, in my room. You know, there's the song in my room. Yes, man. It's like I had no idea that, 95 years later, I was going to be doing this for a living. But it's been a great journey, and I'm really grateful for all the gifts that I've received, and they are gifts. I work very hard. I respect what I do. I try to enjoy it as much as I can, but yeah, man, it is what it is. So
that's cool.
Back to
I'm right behind you. I turned 61 this November, so I'm just right behind you.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, you're a young cat.
And I didn't start playing. I didn't become so. Now, when I was a kid, when you're talking about that, when I was a kid, my best friend was my radio and my bike. I rode everywhere, barefoot, and carried my radio with me everywhere.
Yes.
But
this is before earbuds, of course. You had to hold the radio, right? The little,
Absolutely. I was just looking at a picture of one. I had a Batman transistor radio.
Oh, wow.
And
cool, man.
It was cool. Yeah.
And
it went with me everywhere. I had a radio with me everywhere.
You grew up in that area?
What's that?
You grew up in Edwardsville?
I grew up in Peoria, which is where you just went by there.
Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah, Peoria, dead center in the middle of Illinois. It's right there. And
I think we played there with the Kiss tour.
I was going to say it's where I saw Cheap Trick and Jay Ferguson live at the state fairs and stuff like that.
Yes,
you know, and when I didn't start playing until I was 36, so I think about what you just said, and I thought, man, that. Where my radio and my bike were my best friends, man, if I had a bass back then and understood where I wanted to go, because I told Francis the other night, the only reason I didn't end up a drummer is I'm too cheap. I can't do it. And then I became a bass player. And I'm like, this is better.
Yeah. So are you playing, you're playing out live? You do the Weekend Warrior thing?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. Good for you, brother. Ooh,
I love it.
Tell me about you.
I love it.
Oh. I love the name of your show, man. Viking Stew. Dig it.
What's that?
Viking Stew. I love it, man.
Yeah, you love that, right? My brother told me a while back, he said, hey, before you lean into that Viking thing, let me do the thing online with the, I go, dude, just look at it.
Are you Scandinavian? Obviously you are. You look
we have that in our answer because I'm Scotch Irish, so they came over there and it's, that's where the red hair comes from.
Yeah.
Even though it's not as red as it used to be, but no, I started playing because they needed a bass player at church. So I took it over and I said, I did it on keyboards for 3 weeks.
Good man. So there you go.
Then my buddy who we just lost in December, he went to the store with me and he used to work for St. Louis Music. So
oh wow.
I ended up, and then he got me in there for the last 3 years.
Ampeg, man.
Ampeg, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was there. I was at the factory quite a few times, and then they had what's the venue where they had the big shop connected to the venue, the arena, or was it a yeah, very cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very,
It was a great place to work. But then when they got bought out, they just let everybody go. And
yeah.
you almost want to throw a little crap on the end of that, but you're like, no, there's a lot of people. There's some people that stayed with the company who were they had a division. So some of those people stayed, but some of those people that were there that were Obed Khan. Have you ever heard of Obed Khan?
Yes.
So he's got his own amp line now. So it's like he's off doing that. There's other people that are off doing their own things. So
yeah,
you have to take it. Everything happens for a reason. I still believe that. And everything happens when it should. Otherwise, we live with regret. Why did I do that yesterday? You're like, you know what? If it happens today, it's okay. It's all right.
Very true. Very true, Bram. Very well said. Yeah.
So a lot of that, I want to throw crap on the end, but you know what? They did what they did, and they did what they did for a reason, and that allowed these other people to go and do great things at other places.
Moved on. Exactly.
You know,
same things happening in different parts of the industry because I'm in it. And people from Marshall, they started the Black Star thing, and I'm involved there. Yeah. By the way, shout out to Black Star bass amplification. We have. I'm playing those amps, and I'm really blown away, man. Great stuff. They're coming out with some amazing product, and so I'm part of the team there, the family of Black Star amplification, bass amplification.
Is Black Star what Renee Benton was working with too? Do you know Renee Benton?
I'm trying to remember. Renee Benton.
I had him on the show.
Name rings a bell, but
fantastic guitar player, just crazy, fantastic guitar player. And he's played with a lot of folks. And
is he working with Black Star amps?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that's what it was, because we met at one of their booths, and then we also met at the Conklin booth.
Oh, Conklin.
Oh, good God. I mean, I met Bill a long time ago.
Bill Conklin.
Yeah.
He built a 6 fretless bass. I was playing fretless exclusively there for a long time. Yeah, I have mine, man. Wow. You didn't know that.
Wow.
Go to Marco Mendoza Jazz Trio. Yeah. You'll see a little bit of stuff. But a lot of the work I did with John Sykes, may he rest in peace, was fretless, and I got the gig. I got approached by him because of Tony Franklin being there on the first album, the first Blue Murder album, of which I was a big fan of the album, of Tony's, of Carmine and John. And then he came to my gig in LA. I was playing this jazz club. I had my trio, and we were doing a lot of fusion stuff, a lot of notes, a lot of cool stuff, and it was all fretless. And he heard about me. He came in, heard me, approached me, and said, I'm behind schedule on the second album. I'm like 6-7 months behind. The label wants me to finish. I heard about you. You're amazing. I want you to come, and are you interested? I said, absolutely. So we came in, we did the album and released, but I'm bringing that up because it was Conklin. You just brought a lot of man. I've been floating around for a long time. Oh my gosh, I still have a few of those basses. What's happening with Conklin? I don't. Oh, Bill Dickens. He built that 7-string for Bill Dickens. Bill Dickens, a 7-string bass.
Oh man, he did 7s. He did 9s. He did an 11.
Yeah. Well, I lost track when I got recruited by, I want to say PV. They were building some basses for me. Yeah. This is when Whitesnake was full. We were full on all over the world. And but no, before that, I got introduced to PV, the people at PV. Great amps, great basses, man, great everything.
They stepped up their game.
Through Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
We were on. I got recruited by Ted to do we went out on the Kiss farewell tour, which is 2000, 2001, maybe. Trying to remember, but and I had some great gear. I won't say what it was, but I had some great gear, and we were doing a lot of travel, and it was getting beat up. I was having issues with that every other show. Every other show. Just Ted came up to me and said, man, let's be done with that, man. Let me hook you up with the PV people showed up with a bunch of gear, a bunch of basses, and I fell in love with it. And I never had an issue, man. Great bass amps. Awesome. Yeah, the world tour had, I believe. And and then the basses, they were building some beautiful stuff. And I got approached by them recently, you know, about possibly doing something, but I don't know where they're at right now. But wow, you're taking me back. Well, I know, back. Right? But what's going on with Conklin?
I don't know what's going on with him lately. I got to know him through a friend that I haven't seen in years either. He's married to a woman that went to high school with my wife. And so we got to talking, and he goes, oh, I know this guy. He does, you know, guitars and basses. And then it was a long time between that when I started working for St. Louis Music, doing graphic design. Nice. There was, I had a chance in August because my friend Guy, I'll just say his name, that's who passed away in December. He helped me get in, and he didn't like the heat. And so August in Nashville would have been a nasty shit show for him. So he was like, Stu can go. And I was like, yes. So everybody knew I was a frickin' music head, and they were like, oh, how are you liking the show? Your first NAMM show. I'm like, I'm loving it.
How is the show at Nashville?
It's great. It's great.
It's in July, August?
It used to be in August. It may vary in there a little bit, because I went to a NAMM show where John Sykes was actually, but I missed meeting him
in Nashville,
in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, they had one in McCormick Place. I mean, you know, decades.
For Gibson, obviously. For Gibson.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And Gary Peel was up there he was in Boston at the time. So from Sammy's band, he was in Boston then.
I did Nashville show once or twice, I think, I believe. Yeah.
I saw the logo on your site too. I mean, do you make it out to the NAMM show often, or?
I live in LA. I'm literally like half an hour away.
Correct.
From the convention center there at the Hilton in Anaheim. So it's easy for me. I try to make it. It's always really productive for me. I was there with Black Star this year, talking to a few companies there. Yeah, man. Just great stuff. I enjoy it. I'll tell you what, you get to see a lot of friends. And that you don't see otherwise, because everybody's traveling the world and doing things, and you come across everybody. It's kind of cool, that thing.
Yeah. It's really neat to see people too, when you know, for me as, at the time, for me as a spectator of the situation, working for St. Louis Music, to walk through and then see the collaboration and conversation that you see. You've got, I'm walking through, and speaking of Steve Lukather, I'm walking through, here's Steve Lukather talking with Dweezil Zappa. And you're like, well, there you go. All right. You know, I'm sitting there talking with Steve Bailey and
Marcus Miller.
Anthony. We're sitting there.
Michael Anthony. Yeah,
we're talking about kids. Talking about his 3-year-old and Michael Anthony's 13-year-old. You know, and we're just chatting away about whatever.
That's cool. Yeah.
And
it's awesome, man.
And it is great. But I will finish the thought. I went to Nashville, went to the NAMM show, made my way through, found the Conklin booth, and I'm like, Conklin booth, okay. And I was
in Indiana?
What's
I'm trying to remember. Where is he? Is he in Illinois?
Yeah, he's in Lebanon.
Okay.
That's where he was. I don't know. But he was part of a guitar show too. But then after I left the NAMM show, I'm like, holy crap, that was Bill's booth. I'm like, I didn't even think about it because I was so taken in by who was in the booth and what they were playing.
Right.
You know,
who was playing? Do you remember? It's probably Bill Dickens.
I'm trying to remember his name. Oh, I could say it almost any
He's
other
from
day.
Chicago. Bill
He's
Dickens, amazing bass player.
Okay.
Black dude, he just kills it, man. Yeah.
Who's the guy? He played with Vanessa Williams. His last name starts with a C. God. Oh, I can see him too. I've got pictures of him right down there.
It'll come.
It will. It'll hit me. But anyway, he was there just playing the 9-string, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Caldwell. Yeah, Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Yeah. What's his first name? Damn it.
Okay.
Somebody else would tell me, but anyway, so I was just taken in by all of that, and then I leave, but they had a guitar show downtown St. Louis, and my buddy, he goes, "Hey, Bill's going to be there. Do you want to go with me and we'll go hang out?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so we went and checked out some of the basses there too, and guitars.
Amazing basses, man. Amazing. Really, he was a groundbreaking.
I'll tell you what,
man. He was going places where other bass builders were doing.
Yep.
And I still have that fretless 7, man. It's just gorgeous. And I have a few 4 strings and 5s, and Well,
there it is. Conklin Guitars. We turn good ideas into great ideas. He's got a website.
There you go.
Yeah. Let me see I don't know if he's got where he is. I don't know if he's got I see contact, but it doesn't say where he is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 417 number, so wherever that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have to get a hold of him, and I'll tell him that we bumped into each other here.
It's been a long time, man.
Yeah.
We hooked up through court.
Gotcha.
I think through court, Eric Fuchsman.
That's wild.
I hear he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Good people, man. I had a great time. I was floating between companies and checking this out, checking that out. And then I signed up with PV, and that kind of kept me in one place. And then I went from there. I got recruited by Yamaha. And all the rest, and PV, and Yamaha, and Fender, and PV was knocking at the door again. I'll tell you, man, I'm playing some Ibanez basses, and wow. Wow, that's all I want to say.
It's pretty nice.
Insane. Yeah. It's just insane how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
And how versatile they are, and I mean, we have everything I want and need for all these different genres. Or playing with a pick, with a finger, doing some, what you want to call fusion stuff. It's all there, man. And it's got, it's just a great bass. And it's so comfortable. 3.2 kilos, a 5-string, unheard of. And I'm really, really impressed.
Well, now, is that what you were playing the other night, obviously, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So here, there it is.
I have, the green one, blue one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I tell everybody, bottom line, just go to the nearest store, man, and just grab it. If I can promise you're going to go, wow.
Yeah.
Playability, I'm a 34 scale guy, always have been now for years. Every time I try moving to the 35, thinking that the B string is going to be a little more present, it's not me. But this, the B string is, and it's got a lot of things available depending on how you play. It's got the mid range. It's just go in there, man, and find out. They are amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Basses.
It's got a lot going on. What kind of pickups do you have on that? Are those?
They are. Let me actually. I'm so not familiar with.
Yeah,
I just got these basses, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just wondering if they were some EMGs in there or.
No. These are.
Oh, there you go.
Huh. I don't even know.
I know it doesn't say on there, right?
The bass is a Prestige bass, right?
Prestige. Gotcha.
And I'm telling, yeah, it's a new model. They just unveiled it at NAMM.
Wow.
And I'll tell you a little story. So I show up to Black Star booth,
Yeah.
and in my head, I'm thinking we're just going to do a signing because most of the time that's what you do. You sign stuff, you know. But they decided that they wanted to jam. The boys were there, and they said, Marco, let's just jam. I said, all right. So we scrambled around, and we found Ibanez booth was close by.
Okay.
They brought this bass, another one, and I was just like, I plugged it in straight up. I'm, what? And I'll be honest with you, mainly I'm looking for lighter basses, lighter 5 strings, because
Right.
of it's
Right.
just I move around a lot, and I've had surgeries, you know, knee surgery and hip and all that stuff.
Okay.
And so weight distribution, especially when you have to sing,
Yes.
for me is very
Yes.
important.
Huge.
And a lot of the 5 strings, you play 5s, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So a lot of the 5 strings, you can attest to this, are really heavy, man.
Well, this
They're,
one that's a custom one
uh-huh.
from a
What
friend.
it?
This one I have back here that I designed it, and it's a
Mhm.
custom
Yeah.
bass. It's very heavy. It's made from a
5
small
kilos, 6 kilos.
Oh my God. I'll
Yeah.
weigh it and I'll let you know because it's
Yeah.
woof.
I'll tell you, bro.
Man.
You know, and there was a thing going around when 5 strings were hitting the market, and we all decided to go that route about how important it was to have weight for tone. Well,
Yes.
that's out the door. I mean, it's
No,
not.
it's
It's like
right.
it's
It's
amazing.
like the amps. They got lighter and they're kicking ass.
Yes, exactly. Black Star, man, is mind blowing. And so I'm in love with this bass, man, totally. And this, you know, this,
It is huge. I talked to Ron Keel about that a long time ago because
mhm.
he
I'm
and
with
I
you
worked
still.
together and hung out since like 2004.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, I was telling him, I'm like, I'm having an issue with my singing here and there. And he
Yeah.
said, well, it's you play and sing. I go, yeah. And he goes,
There you
yeah,
go.
it takes the energy and you really have to concentrate. And, you know, because if you're not concentrating on it and doing it right,
Yeah.
all that energy goes out the door and you just don't have it for the vocals if you're not doing it right.
And take it from me, man. I've been doing this for a little bit. The weight will put strain on your, you know, your. For me, it's how you stand, how you support your diaphragm, the
Right.
whole thing. And when the basses that I work with are heavy, they just they weigh me down. I start my stature starts being compromised in my delivery here, and then I start using the throat. Before you know it, I'm all fried.
Yeah.
So got to keep the chakras connected and open, you know.
Right.
And weight is it's very important, man.
Yeah.
And I love singing so much, you know.
Me too.
So
Me too.
that's what this thing is more about. It's focused on the singing end of things, you know. So it's all good, man. If for bass players out there, go out and check it out, man. It's you know, and the
don't ever,
word
yeah.
that says it all, man. Prestige,
Oh yeah, exactly.
bro.
Yeah, I was looking it up here.
Check it out, Stuart.
It's pretty sweet.
It's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna go, I gotta have it.
I wish
I'm not
yeah.
kidding you. I'm not
Although,
kidding you.
at that price point, I don't know if I can.
Oh, what's the price? I don't even know. I'm sorry, but
No, it's okay. 3,500.
Oh, okay.
African mahogany body, with a Mappa burl top,
Uh-huh.
and yeah.
And the roasted maple,
Yep. Yes.
which makes it harder, which which makes the neck it's hard to move, man. And
Yeah.
as much as I travel, I'm checking out
Yeah. The neck
As much-
material, it says, is S-Tech 5-piece maple walnut.
Walnut, yeah. It's really nice, man. The tone. Just for fun, go to the nearest store and plug it in. And I'm telling you, man, you won't want to stop playing because it's just like that, man. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, the last bass I bought was from a gentleman who had a Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
I love those. She's my baby.
You have a Lakeland. What this 5-string? What is it? A local guy? Local guy?
Yeah, he just has. He buys up basses and then he sells them, or he gets them somehow.
So what brand is this one? The 5-string that you have?
One back here.
Yeah.
That one is from a friend who also, like I say, he passed away. He's
a luthier. He's a builder.
He was a luthier. Yeah. He lived in North Carolina, and and I'll have to keep tight with you. His wife is still, and he's got a record. They had an album they were working on and trying to get finished. So I told her I'd do what I could to help,
Oh, cool.
to get it finished. So lots of people I'll talk to about that, but his was Vengeance Guitars was the name of it.
Can I see it closer or no? It's like a.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to replace my string.
Great design, man.
And
very cool.
It was based on an SG design. The only thing
I was going to say,
is I'd love to put a metal plate to make it come out to about here, so that it would center a little better, because
it's a neck heavy. Yeah.
It sits like a SG, so the body's more here instead of over here.
Yeah.
So you're reaching a lot for the neck, and I'm like,
This one, man, sits on you, and it just sits on you. The freedom on your left and right hand is uncanny. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm a neck guy, right? I want to play something, but without compromising the tone. You want to have that nice, sweet action, depending on what you're playing. If I'm doing a lot of heavy rock and roll stuff, the action will get a little higher. I'll go to heavier strings, different tunings, but I didn't have to do anything with this. It's all there. It's unbelievable, man.
And was the neck at a width that you liked anyway, or did you?
I knew you were going to ask me.
Really well.
No, this is the one. This is. I mean, I'm very lucky. I have a lot of big companies sending me stuff. Right. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah. And the spacing on the 5, it's got to be right, man. If it's not right, it just doesn't work. Let me show you this one too. But this is my baby. This is the one. It's one of a kind. I didn't know it was going to be a bass shop thing. It's cool.
I know, right? That's.
It's fun, man.
That's why when my wife said, you need to come up with a tagline, something for your show, and that's why I thought, music and the human experience. That's what it's about.
Oh, okay. This is, this bass, man. Just look at it.
That's gorgeous.
I know you can hear it, right? It just sings acoustically. Jeez. You can imagine what it sounds like when you plug it in. It's just
I was going to say
So the spacing, I brought it in because the spacing for a 6 is the same as the 5. Just added a little more, so you compromise a little bit. So I'm not a believer that you have to have the spacing from a 4-string into a 6, because then you end up with a big.
Yeah.
I have a Patitucci Yamaha bass.
Oh wow.
And I mean, he's amazing. And
he's
amazing cat, and he kills it. But not comfortable for me. It just wasn't. Yeah. This is a neck that was developed by Michael Tobias, actually. This is designed for me. Wow. and then we took the specs to. Then we took it to who is this Fernandez?
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so Fernandez, who are no longer.
That's where I met Rick Springfield. Was at the Fernandez booth.
Oh,
At NAMM.
Nashville,
Yeah.
Nashville, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, over there in Anaheim.
In LA, yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we took these specs, and because I ended up playing this bass for years. Excuse me, exclusively. I just love these specs. I don't want to move. It's a 34 scale. I don't know what the measurements are. I just know it's my measurement.
Right. You like it.
I should pay attention to that stuff more, but I don't know why I don't retain. I've never been a technical guy, the numbers guy,
Same.
I like it and I grab it. So to my amazement, when I grabbed the 5, I went and I played it at the NAMM show for the first time, go, what? That's exactly what. And so they were cool enough. I went to Ibanez and I said, bro, I'm in love with the bass. And I was on my way to South America and they said, take this one.
Wow.
So yeah, they're really cool. And, we'll see what happens there. But
Right.
I'm hoping to have a long-standing relationship with them because when I love something, I just stay.
Exactly. I get it.
And then the fact that Joe Satriani and Steve Vai are, Ibanez guys forever, and Kenny Aranoff is a Tama guy, which is the same company there. So there we are, man. But so back to, I know we kind of veered away from Viva La Rock and New Direction.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Just for your listeners, please take the time to listen to my catalog if you can. Live for Tomorrow, Frontiers, and I do carry that. I have that, but they sell right away. That's the one. That's my daughter. Oh, that's the fretless that Yamaha. 6 fretless Yamaha built.
See, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, well,
I
that's
forgot.
fretless.
It is.
Yeah.
And every company that I ended up signing up with, they would copy this one. So it's this bass.
Oh wow.
Exactly. All the specs. And I have that bass. It's just brilliant. That one, and then Casa Mendoza was a little eclectic there. That's on Mascot, and we're talking about re-releasing that album, remixing, adding a couple of songs.
Really?
Maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I have so much stuff, man. Again, if you're interested in the other side of music for me, go to Marco Mendoza Jazz Trio on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff there, and we can do another. We can do another one, man, in a month or two or whatever before the Satch Vai tour starts, because that's musically, man, that's just beautiful. I'm having so much fun with those cats, man. Talk about another level, and they're just, these guys are groundbreaking guitar players from, they're masters at what they do, virtuosity there, and they're the coolest cats, man. And we did a 2-day rehearsal, 3-day rehearsal quick, and recording some stuff already. And so I'm really excited about that project. Yeah, man, that's going to be killer. They're talking about coming to the States. Hopefully it'll come together.
Now, where will you record?
Oh, we did in the Valley. I was in the Valley with Eric. Cool. Eric is a producer at his studio, and
excellent.
It's just cool, man. We'll be playing some of the new stuff on stage as well. I'll be singing a little bit as well. Awesome. There's a single coming out, a surprise, with Mr. Glenn Hughes singing. Yeah. So,
wow.
Every time I pick up this bass, I can't stop playing.
I know, it's just, as you know, little as I've been, you know, whatever, you know, my career, starting out at church, I took my original bass, that's this one back here, that I almost brought for you
That
the
looks
other
like a
night to
B bit. It
sign.
looks like an OP.
Yeah, it is. It's a Squire.
A Squire?
And Guy, I did that 3 weeks on the keyboard. After the second week, Guy took me to one of our local, what used to be,
and that's the bass you bought.
And he bought he goes, that'd be a good one. I said, well, let me get the white one. That'll be good for church, because the blood red, I thought, yeah. But I'm going to get the white one. Looks angelic, so I call her Angel. And then
it's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
Good
and
man.
I got to go over this bass sometime.
I did. Oh, that's a beautiful bass.
Yeah, she's sweet. I love her. I took the frets
You have
out.
Everybody signed. Oh, it's a fretless.
I took I took a page out of the Jocko book.
The Jocko thing I was going to say, yeah.
Except this is my bass, not somebody else's.
Yeah. Yes.
This is my bass. Cool. Jocko, don't rip the frets out of somebody else's bass you borrowed. So
yeah.
But yeah, I took all the frets out, and I remember my friend, we had a certain song where I would do some stuff, right? As you know, I always say I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And so I would do some things, and my friend said, "That's it."
Melodic stuff.
Yes. And she's like, "That's it. We're never doing that song unless Stuart's here with the fretless."
There you go, bro.
And I was like, "Oh, I love you for that. Thank you. That's great."
I'll tell you, this is something I always try to share when we're talking shop about fretless. You can grab one bass, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and have 4 different players or 5 different players play on it, and they're all going to sound different.
Yep.
So you can be more expressive. Dynamically, it's just a trip, man. How you attack the string, where you play your right hand is close to the bridge, you get a certain growl.
Yes.
So you can be, and it's almost like a cello melodically, and or like a solo, like a brass instrument, like a trombone, sax. I mean, it's like if you allow yourself to go there, it's beautiful, man. Melodic stuff. So I mean, if I could, I would play fretless 100% of the time, but you know, whatever happens. Yeah, man. Anyway,
that's awesome.
Can you hear it?
Yes, I can. Yeah. That's what I love about it. I'm gonna put you up on this way too. I can just put you on solo like that.
Yeah, man. Because Anyway,
it's so wild how it almost the fretless or the fretless bass like that when it's played acoustically like that almost gets a sitar-ish kind of a sound out of it. When you hear with the rattle on the
you hear the high the things, but I'm sorry, I'll tell you, man, that bass, that one in particular, because we built 2 or 3 or 4 of them. There were prototypes, and I was doing this for Fernandez. They approached me when I got the gig with Blue Murder. Everybody was putting out. They had 5 strings, but nobody. I think Yamaha had one of the first 6 strings. Patitucci was out there with Chicoria, and Alain Caron over in Montreal had a set with Frelineto, Michael Frelineto, F basses. Yeah. But the bigger companies didn't have this, so they wanted to get in. So I got recruited. I got signed up by Fernandez to help develop a 6-string, and that's the one they ended up with. But this is a prototype, and we would work on these basses, and I'm trying to remember the luthier there that was building. He came from Tobias's camp to work with Fernandez, Japanese cat, beautiful, rest in peace. I think he passed, but we would work on this. I would go out, take him on tour, work on this, change that, work on the fingerboard. I ended up with Bartolini, with Bill as well. Bartolini pickups, the TCT pre, and which they don't make anymore. But that, my long story short, that one I marked it and I kept it because the prototypes that I was bringing back, they would take them away from me. And then we would start all over again, ground zero, do another one and another one. And I'm like, this one, for some reason, bro, it was just perfect.
Oh,
And I like, if you see the peace sign here.
Yeah.
I actually grabbed a knife and I carved it. I said, this is not going back. And I kept it. And they saw it. They said, well, let's take the measurements and do that. Long story short, something really funky happened. Artist relations person, my connection there changed. And the first NAMM show in LA, they released that bass. It's supposed to be a signature bass. And they didn't, and it's a long story. This is a bad side of our music industry when stuff like that goes down, and you're like, guys, I just put 2.5, 3 years into this bass,
right?
Boom, just like that. So, this is one of a kind. That's where I'm headed. About it. It's a one of a kind. And I'm telling you, bro, everybody, and I could drop names.
Sure.
People that were coming into my gigs. I'll think of all the best players, bass players on the planet. They would show up to my gig and they, Marco, that tone, what the heck? And they grab the bass and go, where can I get one? I need one. It's like, it's just very special. Acoustically, you can hear it sings, it growls. And it's old enough. The wood is old. It's settled. It's all. The only drag, as we were talking about weight, is it's all maple.
Yeah, that can crimp your style a skosh.
Really, really heavy, but you compromise, when you can. So I'm hoping that my relationship with Ibanez gets to a place where I can challenge them to copy this one and say, okay, let's get it close to 3 kilos, 3.5 kilos. This is like, I want to say 6, 5.5, 6. So the singing, the legs, that let's just say you don't move that much, but you're playing a lot of notes, so it compensates for that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I still like moving around a lot. That's my big thing. I mean,
yeah, man. You have to. For me, it's it's that's where the adrenaline comes from, man. You get lost in the music, man, in the place,
Right.
When it's beaming down on you, For me, music is a spiritual event, man.
Yeah.
It has to be when I'm at my best. When I'm too caught up in all the physical thing, the world we live in, and all the business and all the logistics and all, I don't connect. When I allow myself to say, thank you, God, this is a gift from you, and boom, I just got chills. It happens, Stu. It just happens, bro. I just go there. Boom. That's when the set ends and I'm walking on a cloud, man. I'm like, and I don't do anything I don't take any alcohol. I might do some caffeine, a Red Bull occasionally here, coffee. That's it. It's all from upstairs, it comes from there. And so I try to tap into that energy as much as I can, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'm very blessed and very fortunate to have been doing this for how long, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still finding things to challenge me, and I'm still growing, man. It's a trip. I'd love to hear you play, bro.
I would love to play for you sometime. I
send me a video, whatever
I've been a
you
little
feel comfortable
for a while,
with.
but I've got videos out there.
Whatever, man. And send something. I was gonna say, which brought me into the last comment I made. When I got sober in 1987. I have to talk about this.
Sure.
I was a heroin and cocaine addict, IV. I had
Wow.
reached LA at a point where I was at the height of my career. I was in my mid 20s, and all these stores were opening up, man. And not to be pretentious, but getting calls to audition for Lionel Richie. When you
Hmm.
think about Lionel Richie in the mid 80s,
Oh, it was, yeah, I was a DJ in '86 playing his stuff on the radio.
huge,
Huge.
huge, massive artist. And I loved his
Yeah.
music and the whole thing. And he had singles with the Commodores and everywhere, hits everywhere. I'm like, wow. Getting those calls and being at least being considered,
Yeah.
uh, being on the radar was such a privilege, and I wasn't ready. I was scared. I was in LA, showing up and auditioning with all the cats there. I'm going, holy poop, man.
Yeah.
So I'd go to the bathroom and fix myself a hit, a smack, so that I could have the courage to get up on stage and do whatever I
Gotcha.
did. Cher, I got the call to audition for Cher when she had a single with Peter Cetera. She wanted to do a duet,
Hmm.
and they heard that I sang, and I auditioned for that. Again, I go and medicate myself because I couldn't handle it. It was the pressure.
Yeah.
And obviously, I didn't get those gigs for a reason, but divine intervention, God spared me in September 20th, 1987, gave me the opportunity to stop it all and to choose a better way of living. And September 20th, 87, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, man, boom, divine. I cried like a baby. I was on my way I was facing 15 years in the penitentiary. I won't get into the details, but it was
Sure.
bad. So
Wow.
that's where I come from, Stu.
Wow.
So sharing this stuff with you and talking about shop and music and spirituality
Yeah.
and what we're doing while we're on this earth, it's a lot. It's beautiful, man. I'm so blessed, man. So blessed.
Yeah.
And I try
I'm
to
glad to
share
hear you
that. I
say
try to
to
carry that
use those
message,
words
you
too.
know.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
glad to
what's
hear
that?
you use those words like I like to. I was talking with Billy Blair. I don't know if you're familiar with Billy Blair. He's an actor. He
Uh-huh.
also
The
has
name
a
rings a bell, yeah.
yeah, and he was in one of my favorite movies, Alita Battle Angel. He was in that movie. I love that movie.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And but we were talking about luck. A lot of people say, "Yeah, I was really lucky." I'm like, I don't believe in luck. I don't talk about it. I don't even.
Hmm.
I'm I'm Scotch Irish. I have Irish in my hair. I won't buy a St. Patrick's Day shirt if it says lucky on it. I won't. If it has anything to do with
Yeah.
luck, I won't say it. I won't do it.
You don't believe in it. Yeah, you subscribe
No.
to it. Yeah.
The only shirt that I did buy is I don't. Luck's got nothing to do with it. That's the only shirt that I ever bought
Hmm.
because I believe in that, and that's when you use the same words that I do when I'm talking about it's a blessing. It's
A
it's
gift,
that's
man.
what it's supposed to be. It's not.
Yeah.
It's fortunate, not lucky, because you worked
Yeah.
your ass off.
Well,
You
yeah,
know.
there's some footwork involved,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when you're that, and I won't get into the details, but I was really bad, man. Think of the worst place that you can be as a human being in life on this earth. And if you can imagine a sewage, I was under the
Right. Right.
I can laugh about it now. The things, my mentality, I was spiritually bankrupt, emotionally bankrupt, psychologically done. I was just finding a way to get out, to be
Yeah.
honest. And I
Yeah.
was doing everything and anything to do that. Uh, I didn't have the courage to do it myself, but yeah, man. And
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I was spared, and then so I try to carry that message and flag that flag, the sobriety flag, because I know there's a lot of
Right.
people out there struggling.
Yeah.
And if somebody like me could manage to put a few years together of sobriety, anybody can. It's just what
Mhm.
happens to you, what you want out of life internally. It's an inside job, we call it.
Right.
You have to decide, make that decision. And yes, there's a little bit of work involved.
Right.
For me, the 12-step program saved my life, man.
Mm.
Period.
Yeah.
And my connection with
That's
God,
true.
my prayer and meditation and on a daily basis.
Mhm.
I'm not preaching. I mean, I'm still a work in progress. I have a lot of things to work on constantly. But now the difference now is that I'm sober. I can't run away from my mistakes and my stinking thinking that we call it. And I have to decide which way I want to go on a daily basis, hourly basis, sometimes minutes. And thank God I've decided not to take anything that's mind altering for 38 years coming up. You know, it's like, wow. So that allows me, it gives me the opportunity to deal with life on life's terms and do the best I can with the tools that I have. And I have music, bro. Wow. Come on.
Right. And I think it's tough enough on a human level just to do that on the reg, to deal with these things that we deal with. And if you've already got somebody looking at you and going, well, whatever, but then on top of it, you've got a habit that's a monkey on your back, and you're just like, then they'll be looking at that and going, and you're like, okay, you strip yourself of that. Now, at least it's just human stuff.
Yes.
Why I'm having an issue right now. And that's okay. I can move on through that. I can become a better
Exactly.
human. I can do that.
So true.
That's why I like to use not change. You have to change. No, you just have to grow. Change.
Yeah.
You are Marco Mendoza. I am Stuart Johnson, and we are two human beings that people get along with for a reason. And there are things that I need to work on, but why would I want to change? I enjoy who Marco Mendoza is. Why would I want you to change? That's what makes you that. But if we have to work on something, we can better ourselves. I'm not going to change who I am. I can better those things that I don't do well, but
that's true. It's embracing who you are. Yeah.
Right. Because people hate the word change. You got to change. Oh, I'll help you change. No, you won't. There's only one person that can help you change.
Yeah.
And it ain't me. It's somebody up there. And it's like
God. Oh yeah.
That's who helps you change. But you have to help him help you change.
Yes, exactly. You have to be ready for that. And that's the word that comes up when you're ready to change your life. You surrender. And you surrender to spiritually, you surrender to your God. To me, that's what I did. And that prayer became a daily thing, and I still do. Whenever I'm in the little less just shaky ground or whatever, that's the first thing I do, man. To understand that there's a higher power taking care of me, man. I can put my trust and faith in him, and he knows. And then I got the feeling right away, like I'm exactly where I need to be. There's just embrace it, make decisions based on your best, behavior, man, and just and then you realize after making the same mistake over and over and over, you stop making it because you finally think, okay, I've been going that way, so it's time to go. It's time. But you're right. It's an inside thing, man. You're aware, and when you're under the influence of stuff, alcohol, whatever it is, all of it. And I talk about alcohol because that seems to be the worst one of it all. In my opinion, because it's legally accepted, socially accepted.
Yes,
it's celebratory. It's a sunny day out. Let's go out there and get wasted. Oh, it's raining. Let's get wasted. I lost my job. I want to get wasted. I got a new job. Let's get wasted. It's Christmas. Let's get wasted. It's my birthday. Everything. It's wasted. I'm too old. Friday. Let's get wasted. I'm too young. Let's get wasted. It's Friday. I mean, on and up, right? That's the mentality, man. It's like, no, I don't want to get wasted anymore. I want to experience everything, all the fear, all the insecurities, because that's what makes me who I am. And when you take that step, you jump off the cliff and you have faith and love and hope behind you. You always land on your 2 feet, man. I do. Yeah, I do. I have been. It's like amazing, We're getting deep, but this is cool, man. This is very cool. We started talking about fretless. What happened?
I know, right?
Anyway, it's been great.
Yeah.
Great,
well, I'll put this up here real quick. You see this? You've got these shows coming up. And then so it's the Surfing with the Hydra 2025 tour. They just finished up. here in the States with that last month.
What do you mean?
They were doing this tour, right? Earlier this year, right? Here in the States.
No.
No?
No.
Because I saw a bunch of dates that were here in the States.
No.
I thought.
No, this is, you're talking about Satch Vai?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something else. That's another. These guys are busy, man.
Okay.
Joe is out there with Sammy Hagar. Actually, he's doing a residency in Las Vegas.
Well, that's really
But
weird.
this
then.
is, this starts in June. If you look at the dates, June in the UK, and it goes throughout all of Europe. It hasn't been. No, we did a rehearsal back in LA a few days to get the set list. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's happening in June.
Okay. We'll have to find that thing I found.
Yeah, I think you might have been thinking about something else.
I don't.
Again, these cats are. Everybody's busy in that project, like big time.
Yeah.
And Pete Thorn, man, if you haven't checked him out, please. He's amazing, man. He's this project is just it's heavyweight. That's the word I want to use.
Okay. Yeah.
It's so cool, man. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
That's really weird though. I still want to find that thing. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe I saw it on Facebook or something.
Yeah, it might be. I think they made an announcement of the lineup, and they've been they're really busy on social media promoting the new stuff, the new songs. There's a single coming out with Glenn that's coming out here soon, this week or next week. And then, Joe and are out there with Joe Satriani's out there with Kenny Aranoff on drums, and Michael Anthony on bass with Sammy. They're doing the Vegas residency, and they just put out a new single. You might have thought that was it, maybe.
Well, I don't know. I'll find it and I will get it. I mean, it's so strange that I can't find it now.
It's the brain. I mean, that's social media for you, man. That's exactly what happens to me. I get so bombarded with so much info. My brain can't keep up. I go into social media for half an hour and I'm fried. My brain is just all over the place. So no, this is going to start in Europe, and there's talks about coming to the US, but it hasn't been announced, and we don't know at what point. Now, I think they were talking about next year, so it's going to be great, bro. It's going to be great. That's all I want to say. It's something to really look forward to, and the boys are writing all the time, and whenever there's new music, I go into the studio too, and it's whatever. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
But playing with Joe and Steve, and definitely a highlight, man.
Yeah.
in my career, it's amazing. The music is just gorgeous. That's the word. It's just beautiful, man. It's gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've been a huge fan of those guys, for decades. And
trailblazers, man. These cats were just pioneers, man.
Mm-hmm.
The way they approach guitar playing and where they take it and where they've taken it and where they're going, it's just constantly. I love that, And for us bass players, you can recognize that the players that came along, for me, obviously Jaco Pastorius, but Stanley Clarke before that, he was.
Oh yes.
And I can call him a friend. He's like, wow. Light as a Feather. When that came out, well, the Electric Band with Chick and Stanley was there and Demiola, and oh my gosh, man. It was like another level.
Absolutely.
And I could go down bass players, but Jack Bruce, Paul McCartney, Tim Bogart, the guys that we listened to.
And Twistle
and Winslow,
just amazing stuff.
And then later on, Greg Lake and Chris Squire, Tony Levin, all the cats,
Back to Tony Franklin as well, and
Tony,
but Chris Squire was a big one. That's one of those that when I think back, you know, when I talk to people about bass playing, I just talked to Francis about it. I said I wanted to be a drummer, but I was too cheap. Then when I found out I could be a bass player, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Most of my favorite musicians are bass players. You know, all the way back to Gene Simmons, to the stuff that I grew up listening to, where they actually had these hit songs with amazing bass lines.
Bass lines, yeah.
You know, Boston, Kansas, where they had these amazing, you know, bass lines. And
Grand Funk Railroad.
Oh, yes.
A big fan, man. A big
Absolutely.
fan.
Absolutely. Black Sabbath, Geezer Butler, for crying out loud.
Geezer, Allman Brothers.
Yes.
He was the first cat. Barry Oakley, was it?
Yeah.
Barry Oakley, right? Allman Brothers Band.
Yeah. I think
he was the first cat, bro, that I heard that I thought it sounded like a fretless, but he was using the volume pedal to make it sound like a cello. He was the first guy. I'm going, what is that? It is and I couldn't buy a volume pedal when I was learning stuff. So I learned how to do it with my finger.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, and then later on find out that a lot of big guitar players have been doing it. They do without a pedal. They just do it. You know, you hit the string and you use your pinky or whatever to move the volume knob. It's a trip, man. Wow. It's a trip. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So Satriani and Vai were, you know, those are the cats. And I have the connection with Whitesnake with Vai. We talked about it. It's very cool.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it's all good, man. We gotta do an update, man. I'd love to catch up with you before that tour starts in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we can do this no matter wherever you are. I was just thinking, I would love to do it,
man. I really enjoyed it. This is really, really cool. Let me see.
Fantastic.
Let me see. I got the dates here.
Yeah, because I was like, if there's a
it starts June 13th, so maybe a few days before.
Sure.
Or something. We could do something. Mark it on your calendar if you're interested. That's a month from now, but we could talk about that because it's going to be cool. This is very cool.
Yeah.
And also, of course, you know, to your listeners, please go check out my solo stuff, Marco Mendoza Official. It's all there. There's a bunch of stuff on YouTube, videos, Instagram, all that, and support whenever you can. I really appreciate it. And I'm aware of all the support. Get this, man. I was doing the social media thing, and I had somebody working for me and said, 80% of my fan base on social media, guess where it is? US, man.
Oh, well, all right.
The downloads, everything comes from the US, and isn't a shame that I come here. So I really have to make an effort. I'm talking to my agent. There's a few people I'm talking to come back before the year is over, and maybe do my headliner thing. If I could pull it off, we got to have enough interest. That's the thing. That's where it is. And somehow we got to find a way to share the music so that it spreads, and then people go, oh, cool. Look, he's doing this and that song, then maybe we want to buy a ticket. It comes down to that. That's the bottom line. So we'll see what the future brings, bro.
Yeah, I'll continue to do what I can. I'm getting ready to like I told you before, I'm getting ready to retire from this school job. So
I know you were telling me, yeah.
So
you want to consider the road, huh?
Yeah.
And I want to say,
could be a big help.
Why? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's the serious point too.
I get it. No, I get it, bro. I get it.
Yeah.
You being a musician is a big asset because you understand what it's all about and what it takes. There's some skill set that you have to kind of work on because there's people ahead of you that have all the experience.
Yep.
And they're still affordable. When you bring a bigger team, like right now, when I travel, and it's come down to this out of necessity, it's just the three of us, my guitar player, my drummer, and me, and we do it all. My drummer helps me with logistics, helps me with the touring, booking, travel, the venues take care of the backline. We don't carry any backline. We make sure there's a support band providing the backline, and there's always a lot of kids and a lot of new bands that don't have any gigs, and they have the opportunity to open up for us, and there's plenty of those. And I feel like you're giving back and opening up, like it was done for me, like it's done for me. So yeah, to bring another person, you almost have to be a multitasker. You have to tour manage, tech, guitar, bass, drum tech, do the merch, drive. So it's, but you're aware of that. I don't know. Have you had any road experience?
Not enough. No.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that's what it is. But we could talk about it more, man, when
Absolutely.
on one, and I could give you an idea.
Yeah.
There's some big management companies that they're always looking for people, for apprentices to come in at the entry level and do it for peanuts, just so you can learn. But I'll tell you, some of my techs are doing really well. The techs that I started in the business, one or two of them in particular, they moved on to bigger, like, think of the biggest bands ever. And what they do, they go from the word gets out that they're good people to work with. And they go from one tour to the next project to the next. So they're constantly working,
Okay, cool.
you know, and you're traveling a lot. And so family life is compromised a little bit, but it is what it is.
And that's where, that's where it's always good to just talk to people about the reality. That's why I threw in there.
Yeah.
There's a reality behind this that I have no clue.
Right. I could give you some feedback, man, and all that, but I got to run right now. Unfortunately, Stuart, this has been really cool, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Really, I appreciate it. And I enjoyed every minute of it. I think it's going to help to get the word out there.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what your listeners are, but it doesn't matter. Get the word out, bro.
Exactly.
And we'll talk to each other soon.
Yeah, you got it, my brother. All right. Thank you very much. And
Peace.
We'll
My
talk to you
pleasure.
guys. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being in here, guys. Take it easy. And then Marco, I will keep in touch with you and we'll get things ready to roll. And then if you have do you have 1 minute, or if you got to go right now, that's fine too. But I'll talk to you. I can say goodbye to you backstage real quick, and then we'll be out. All right, folks, take it easy, and we will see you soon. We'll get this rolling, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Take it easy, folks.